When Meghan Markle smashed publish on June 4th, dropping an 8-second clip of her and Prince Harry baby bump twerking in a delivery room, centuries of royal protocol detonated in a single tap. Overnight, palace aides were whispering a word no Windsor has dared utter since the English Civil War: treason. But why torch 1,000 years of decorum for a hospital dance video? And what hidden prize could possibly be worth the fallout? Keep watching, because the answer may rewrite everything you think you know about the House of Windsor and about Meghan's true endgame. The clip that crashed the firewall. The footage is deceptively simple. Sterile hospital strip lights. A heavily pregnant Meghan at 39 weeks swaying her hips to Starkeisha's baby mama dance. Harry stands beside her, matching every shimmy with boyish enthusiasm, his trademark grin flickering under fluorescent glow. 8 seconds. One cheeky wink toward the camera, 0 apologies. Within 24 hours, it racks up 57 million views, forcing YouTube's comment filters and palace damage control into overdrive. Traditionalists cry sacrilege. Gen Z dubs it the year's best meme. Influencers splice the clip into reaction videos. Pundits dissect Harry's footwork as if it were geopolitical strategy. Yet buried inside the shockwave is a cunning piece of stagecraft. The Sussexes made sure the camera never strays to medical staff, nor to monitors that reveal private data. Everything feels raw yet curated, messy yet safe for mass consumption. In other words, viral ready. And timing? Not a coincidence. The video arrived inside a syrup-sweet birthday montage for Princess Lilibet's 4th, the family beaming at Disneyland, Minnie Mouse cupcakes, confetti kisses. Nestling a neon grenade amid wholesome nostalgia, guaranteed maximum whiplash. Click. Gasp, replay. But the real power move wasn't how she posted. It was why she posted when she did. Because Meghan didn't drop that bomb purely for shock value. She had a far bigger board game in mind. The strategy: monetizing intimacy. 48 hours before the clip went live, a raft of barely noticed U.S. trademark filings hit the public register under a polished new banner. As ever. The paperwork covers everything from boutique hotels and hillside wellness retreats to artisanal teas and empathy-led hospitality consulting. Insiders whisper that As Ever is Meghan's pivot from Duchess in exile to hospitality mogul, selling a brand where vulnerability is the new luxury and access is the ultimate upsell. Drop a glossy birthroom dance video and boom! Proof of concept. Archwell staffers say the moment the upload hit, As Ever's mailing list ballooned by 230%, almost entirely American millennials who crave behind-the-velvet-rope authenticity more than coronation pomp. What looked like an impulsive overshare was, in fact, targeted growth hacking. Transform a private milestone into convertible cultural capital. And if you want these royal chess moves decoded before the palace press office polishes them clean, tap subscribe and ring the bell right now. We break the twists as they happen because the next reveal is already queued up. Still, every social media boom brings its backlash. This one slammed harder than most. Traditional gatekeepers, talk show firebrands, and royal commentators lined up to call the clip vulgar, crass, even borderline treason. But the harshest verdict wasn't tweeted. It echoed down Buckingham's marble corridors. So what exactly was the reaction inside those gilded halls? And how close are we to an unprecedented royal counterstrike? Whiplash from the old guard. Talk show host Christo Vine deemed the footage appalled, jaw-droppingly embarrassing, a deep-fake prank cooked up in someone's basement, surely. Daily Mail veteran Richard Eden admitted he assumed AI trickery. Disappointed. It's not what you expect from anyone who once carried an HRH. On her podcast, Megyn Kelly didn't mince words. Firmly moments before a birth belonged to the people in that room, full stop. Newspaper editorials thunder about loudly dignity and decorum. Columnists compare the video to a sitting U.S. president busting moves on the Resolute desk. Shocked, unthinkable territory. Hashtags, she twerked and royal disgrace trend simultaneously, an algorithmic tug-of-war between modernity and monarchy. Yet the loudest gasp comes from behind palace doors. Courtiers are conditioned to treat scandal like a brittle antique, handle with gloves, hide when company arrives. A senior aide reportedly mutters that Harry has crossed an uncrossable line. One dawn-timed memo floats an arcane solution: abeyance, a constitutional gray zone where titles aren't stripped but whispering quietly iced. Such whispers haven't circulated since King Edward VIII walked away with Wallis Simpson. But publicly, silence. And anyone versed in Windsor chess knows silence isn't inaction, it's the pause before a ominous, decisive move. Because while the monarchy deliberates, the internet has already delivered its own verdict, and it's not as pensive unified as you might think. The People's Court, memes and generational divide. On TikTok, remix edits of the baby bump twerk blast past 200 million loops in 48 hours. Young parents stitch their own labor room dances under hashtag birthblitz, celebrating Meghan for normalizing childbirth and breaking stuffy norms. U.S. sentiment tracking shows 65% positive engagement. British tabloid polls lag at 19. The Atlantic feels wider than ever. Sociologists have a label for this: authenticity commerce. Public figures convert private vulnerability into a marketable asset. To British traditionalists, it's indecorous. To Gen Z, it's dopamine realism. View counts equal validation. Discomfort equals relevance. And the culture clash fuels itself. Every pearl-clutching editorial sends another wave of curious scrollers hunting the clip, boosting ad revenue and reinforcing Meghan's thesis that transparency, curated or not, sells. Yet Meghan's gamble runs on one dangerous premise: that the monarchy can't or won't retaliate. So far, the Crown has absorbed decades of gossip, Netflix confessions, even Oprah-level disclosures. But a viral dance video inside a delivery suite? That pierces an inner sanctum the firm once considered off-limits. Which begs the question, what happens if the palace finally decides enough is enough? Meghan's master plan, from Duchess to disruptor. Every breadcrumb points to one destination. As ever, an experiential lifestyle ecosystem built on the Sussex brand of candid glamour. Picture coastal spa weekends where new mothers squad birth stories over lavender-infused mocktails while clinicians teach hypno-breathing. Think redwood resilience hikes led by Harry, culminating in campfire chats about mental health. Imagine pop-up supper clubs that blend California produce with British heirloom recipes, each course paired with a story about tradition, rebellion, and reinvention. Each viral family moment becomes fuel for that story. The hospital twerk signals that nothing, no matter how intimate, is off the table if it moves the narrative and the product line forward. Investors in the wellness tourism boom call the model brilliant. Relatability sells experiences better than any glossy brochure. Critics call it brazen, even exploitative. Royal privilege repackaged as self-care chic. But here's where it gets truly high stakes. With Harry still a prince by birth, every fresh controversy forces Buckingham to decide whether to protect, punish, or distance. Strip the titles and Meghan's from palace to people origin story gains martyrdom sparkle. Ignore the scandals and the crown risks diluting centuries-old mystique. Either way, As Ever thrives on the drama, and lurking in the wings is an unverified but highly combustible whisper. A sealed palace briefing supposedly catalogs further breaches. Some insiders hint at unreleased footage capturing off-record conversations. Others claim fiery text exchanges between Harry and a senior courtier, peppered with expletives and ultimatums. If even a snippet leaks, royal PR may face its toughest crisis since Diana's 1995 Panorama interview. Which leads to the prince at the epicenter of it all, torn between two nations, two identities, and perhaps two futures. These crossroads and the crown's dilemma. Pollsters note a painful dichotomy. In the United States, Harry trends upward each time controversy paints him rebellious and relatable. In the United Kingdom, every new flare-up chips away at residual goodwill. A May survey finds 51% of Britons now support curtailing taxpayer-funded security for the Sussexes. Meanwhile, Hollywood dealmakers line up to turn royal riffs into prestige content. Behind palace curtains, strategists assess threats. Could a formal sanctions move drive an irreparable wedge between the crown and its charismatic but unpredictable spare? Would a messy title revocation inflame Republican sentiment during King Charles's goodwill tour next month? Or does continued leniency risk normalizing behavior the monarchy deems unbecoming? Harry, insiders say, feels the pressure. Friends claim he grapples with guilt over the stress each headline dumps on his cancer-recovering father. Yet he also relishes the freedom of life outside royal scripting. Sources close to him insist there's no turning back. California is home now, and storytelling, no matter how incendiary, is the chosen path. And so the chessboard resets. If the palace counters, Meghan's narrative of resilience sharpens. If it stays silent, as ever expands unchallenged. Either outcome feeds the Sussex brand. But the next move may not come from Meghan, Harry, or the King. It could come from a leak none of them can control. Brand mega shift, Duchess to mogul. As ever isn't merch. It's a blueprint for immersive luxury. Internal decks leaked to lifestyle investors outline Pacific Coast spa weekends where mothers trade birthing stories over artisanal tea, resilience hikes led by Harry through redwood canyons, even pop-up tasting rooms pairing Sussex rosé with farm-to-table menu. The twerking reel, then, is step one in a funnel that converts voyeuristic curiosity into four-figure retreat bookings. Early bird email subscribers already received a cryptic save-to-date for a Napa Valley launch soiree. Attendance strictly limited, but suspiciously open to anyone with a platinum credit limit. Investors call the playbook brilliant. Annoyed palace tutors call it brazen. Either way, every viral family moment becomes another breadcrumb leading straight to a high-ticket experience designed to rival Gwyneth Paltrow's Goop or Oprah's wellness weekends. Yet whenever commerce collides with monarchy, someone, either a crown or a brand, has to give. Endgame and fallout. Constitutional scholars warn that tradition alone won't shield Harry if British opinion keeps nosediving. If the King's July charity tour is overshadowed by more Sussex theatrics, pressure will mount to curtail the prince's residual perks or freeze the dukedom outright. Even courtiers mutter that the monarchy cannot absorb endless, off-brand shockwaves without paying a legitimacy tax. Meanwhile, across the Atlantic, every fresh controversy sweetens the Sussex bottom line. U.S. late-night hosts crack jokes, as ever newsletter subs spike again, and the couple's celebrity stock climbs. Two nations, one prince, and a widening cultural canyon. And here's the ticking timer. At least 3 journalists confirm a sealed palace briefing labeled "Further Breaches." Rumors range from unseen footage to scorching text exchanges between Harry and a senior courtier. If even a sliver leaks, the crown could launch its toughest counterstrike since the 1936 abdication crisis. So next time a Sussex shockwave rattles your feed, remember, every viral spark is an intentional move on a billion-dollar chessboard. Meghan's hospital twerk was never just a dance. It was a calculated opening gambit. The game is still in motion, stakes escalating, and the next move could remake the monarchy or cancel it altogether. Stay tuned. The final twist is already on its way.